I work the night shift as a security guard at an asylum. It is a shitty asylum because it is located in a shitty area, an environment that I am used to. I grew up with a lot of crime and gangs, so this job didn't scare me too much. My job was to make sure the asylum was safe throughout the night and to do rounds on the inmates. That's what I call them. Rounds is basically walking the hallways periodically to make sure everything is running smoothly during the night. In the past, I have worked as a security guard for all types of places. Strip clubs, prisons, nightclubs, you name it. I got offered this job 2 weeks ago because the previous guard got sent away. Guess he couldn't handle it. However, this asylum was far away from my hometown, and the deal was that I had to tell my wife that I would be gone for a while. I was not allowed to say anything else about the job, which originally threw me off, but this sounded like a good opportunity for me, so I took the offer. They offered me a hefty amount of money, and at this point in my life, I needed it. Not a demanding job, but I did have rules that I had to abide by. Remain at my desk, do rounds on the inmates, and never go into cell 1154. Pretty simple. Now, anyone normal would want to go check the cell out as soon as your boss left you for your shitty graveyard shift. Which is exactly what I did. Since then, I have been hearing voices in my head over the past few weeks. My boss, Jim, won't tell anyone what is in that cell. As a man of morals, I wanted to know what I was working for. I felt very uneasy that Jim couldn't tell me what was in there. I assumed someone got hurt in there and they closed it off for secrecy. As a couple weeks went by, I noticed that during my shifts I would hear voices telling me to go visit the cell. At first, I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me due to me working odd hours of the night. After all, the shift was normally 10 p.m. to around 8 a.m., so it's not like I was wide awake. One night I listened to the voice, and I made it to the door of the cell. I heard somebody talking, just one person. It sounded like a lot of rambling and crazy talk. It had to be a person that was held there. After that night, I needed to get the secret out of Jim. I went to his office, told him what I heard, and said, "If you don't tell me, I am going to the police." As he was trying to calm me down, I got more enraged. He finally told me.
He said that this asylum is different than other asylums. This asylum is a place where we keep crazy people in holding until they are ready to be executed. I was shocked. Many questions ran through my head. Why do we just kill these people? Why did you choose me as the security guard? Why didn't you tell me when I got the job? What else is Jim keeping from me? I asked Jim why he couldn't tell me this when I got the job, and he told me the less I know the better. I'm assuming cell 1154 is just someone waiting to be executed like I was told. From that point on, I didn't ask questions. I just did what I was told. All I know is that this asylum holds people who have done crimes and are mentally unstable. Once their holding time is up, they are executed. 1 week later, Jim comes up to me and says he must show me something. I walk with him, and we are approaching cell 1154. This is it. I finally get to see what is in this room. As we get to the door, I see a shadow of a man in there. The room is very dark, so I can only see a silhouette. In a weird way, he looked a bit like me. That must have been the man I heard saying all that crazy shit. Jim told me he's on his way to being executed. I noticed that Jim looks serious and has a demanding look on his face, one I've never seen from him before. As we are standing there, the man says, "Read this before they take me away." He tossed a journal through the cell door. Before Jim could grab hold of it, I began to read, and I felt my blood run cold. The journal was filled with experiences that were similar to my life experiences. This was not déjà vu. These were detailed experiences from my past. This can't be, I thought. Why else would I have to tell my wife that I would be gone for a while? How could I be hearing voices telling me to go to that cell? Why did Jim choose me for this job? I'd been working in this asylum that has been holding crazy people waiting to be executed. I couldn't tell my wife any details of the job, nor receive any from Jim. I began to panic. Jim sits down and tells me to enjoy my last night in my cell. Everything comes together. I am one of them. I realized that Jim was never real. My job was never real. This journal is mine. I have been rotting in this cell for who knows how long. I had been imagining all of this in my cell. Then I remember. I always wondered why I shot that man in broad daylight years ago. My parents have always told me to stay quiet and to not move at night. I always thought that this was because they had sleeping troubles, but the truth shocked me. I reached my 16th birthday, and I wanted to know so desperately what the reason was that I couldn't move or make noise in the night. The following night, I set up kind of a fortress by my door and spent the whole night with my phone recording through the lock of the door. When I woke up, I immediately checked the footage of my recordings. It seemed normal, but after 30 minutes of watching, I was truly shocked by what I had seen. A tall, dark figure appeared at 1:38 a.m. It had a pale gray face and appeared to have no emotion. The dark figure wandered around, entering every room that had an opened door, looking more menacing after every room. We live in a large house, so we leave a lot of doors open. It entered the bathroom, the 2 spare bedrooms, and the activities room. After each room, the creature looked hungrier. My soul jumped out of my body as the creature walked slowly towards my door, staring at the lock, eyes lit up red, looking directly at the camera. What I hadn't noticed about the creature was its incredibly long claws, which it used to push my phone from the lock onto the floor. But my phone landed on its front, allowing me to still see what happened at the lock. The creature held its claws in the lock and waved them about until the door unlocked. However, after trying to get in but failing, the creature left at 2 o'clock. The same thing happened the next night. At exactly 1:38 a.m. the creature appeared, and identically repeated its actions the previous night, eyes lighting up red, increasing hunger. I decided that the following night I would invite a friend over and show them what is happening. My friend David arrived at 8 p.m. We played video games until the night. He stayed in the guest room. He did the same as me. He propped his phone up at the lock of the door and slept the night. I began to hear footsteps despite telling him not to move, and a chilling scream followed. I cried while trying not to make a noise. The moment I woke up in the morning, I checked my footage, and what I found chilled me more than anything I had ever seen. The footsteps happened at 1:46 a.m., but it was from the 2nd spare bedroom. This only meant that someone had broken into the house because David ran to me asking if I heard it. The moment that the footsteps happened, the creature disappeared, and immediately, a blood-curdling scream followed. Should I phone the police or should I just live with this?